Hey Herbert, how you doing? You really are the most beautiful boy the world has ever seen.
Hi everyone, Tuesday the 7th of January, day 7 of Yoganuary, so I've already done that this evening, which was brilliant. It was some upward facing dog, mini cobra and cobra, really good stretches. Just want to say one thing before we get too far in. I'm in a room that's not got very good lighting above me, so I grabbed from downstairs just a table lamp and I set it up probably in the wrong place. I'm new to all this video malarkey, so please bear with me while I learn these things. Got it set up over there. Well, you can tell which direction it's in. This half of me, nice and bright. This half of me, like the dark side of the moon. So probably should have it over there somewhere shining right on me. But then I have that problem of light bouncing off of top of head, which is a little bit there. But you're just going to have to put up with looking at my shiny head, I'm afraid. So a few things to just go over. I'm not going to make this one too long either. It was a quicker video last night, but another quick one tonight. No running tonight. We did a 7.1 kilometre run last night with my club, and that was in my video from yesterday. Not running tonight. The weather is horrific, and also my legs are a little bit stiff, but going to probably run tomorrow night. The weather's supposed to be better, so going to go down to my usual haunt. Although a couple of people from my club are actually looking at going to the Sheep Mount Stadium and doing some track work, so I might do that actually. And if I do, I'll take you along, show you the track, and we'll see what that's like. I've not run on it yet, so that'll be interesting. That'll be a first for me. I've run track in the past, but I've not run on our local track, so I'm really looking forward to that. Haven't got any spikes though, is the only thing. But I don't think that's the end of the world. I'll just wear my Kinvaras. They're nice. They're only 4mm drop. They're nice shoes to run in. So if I do track work, I'll probably do that in Kinvaras, not the beacons. But if I'm just going to run around the streets, I'll put my beacons on. Just wanted to give you a quick update as well on a couple of other things. I mentioned in a previous vlog that I've entered some races this year. Not that I'm expecting to win. Just for those that don't know, I'm 50 years. I turned 50 in September. I've only been running since September, and I hadn't run since I left school. Not properly. I've done the odd bit of running. We all do. You know, you run for a bus, you run for a train, you run after a £10 note blowing down the street, but not what you would call proper running. Since I left school, and I left school at 16, so you do the math. So I'm not expecting to win a race, let's be frank. There's going to be people there that are, 15, 20, 25, 30 years old that run 5Ks in 15 minutes or less and 10Ks in around half an hour. My best 5K race running speed at the moment, my PR, is something like 25 minutes. And that's fine for me. I haven't got an issue with that. I'm not in it that's not why I'm doing running. I'm doing it purely for fitness, and that's it. Yeah, it's nice to get a PR, but at my age, I'm past caring, really, to be honest. But I've entered some 5K races this year at Watch Tree Nature Reserve in Carlisle. They're every quarter. I've mentioned this before. So every quarter, there's March, June, September, and December this year. It's a 5K race, middle of the week on a Wednesday at 6:30. You get a medal with that. That's great, but I'm not really in it for the medals either. And then I've entered some 10K races. I've mentioned these before. So I'm doing a 10K race in Manchester. I'm doing one in Gateshead, one in Glasgow, and I'm doing the cross-border 10K. That's coming up pretty soon. That's 2nd of February. That's Gretna to Carlisle. That'll be my first proper 10K race, about just under 4 weeks away. Really looking forward to that. And it'll also give me an idea of time, because when I registered for these other races, they ask you, and if you've done this before, you'll know, and if you've not done this before, this will be news for you. When you register for these races, you generally get asked, what time do you expect to do the race in? And I'm guessing that's so they can fit you into a wave of runners. I have no idea, so I've had to say about an hour. So it'll be interesting for me to see what I do the cross-border in, and then what I do these other races in, because they're spread out throughout the year. I also today entered the Scottish 10K. There's a half marathon and 10K race up in Edinburgh at something like Musselburgh Racecourse. I'm potentially pronouncing it wrong. But I entered that today, just the 10k race. That's 20th of September. Someone from my club told me about that. It's her 21st birthday that day, and she's doing that race for her birthday. So I'll be up there with her. Now she does a 10k in about 44 minutes. So she'll be much faster than me, even in September. So I won't be running with her. I might use her to pace me a little bit at the start, but then she'll be gone and I'll just be left behind. So she might even be in a different wave if they do that. So I won't even get that chance. So, but we'll see what happens. And I also entered today, which I'm really excited about, 13th of June on a Saturday. You get these ultra challenges. There were 11, there's now 12. So they do all various things like Peak District, Jurassic Coast, Isle of Wight. There's a London to Brighton one, and so on. There's other ones, but this year there's an addition. It's the Cumbrian Lakes Ultra, which is, if you do the whole thing, it's 100 kilometres, not 100 miles, 100 kilometres, starting from Kendal all the way around Lake Windermere and looping back to Kendal. You can try and do it in a day, or they've got a 2-day option. They've also got half options, so 50 kilometres, start at Kendal round to wherever the halfway point is, or the halfway point back round to Kendal. They've also got a quarter option, which is the one that I've entered, and it's well, they say 25 kilometres, but it's actually apparently 28. And it's Kendal to Ambleside, just at the top of Lake Windermere. And I've entered as a jogger, not a runner. It'll be the first one of these that I'll have ever done, and it's quite a bit of, when you look at the course, most of the elevation is in that first quarter, so they say it's a tough quarter. Really looking forward to that. That's 13th of June. I've said that I want to go in the between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning wave. There were 3 options, I think. There was a 7 till 8, an 8 till 9, and a 9 till 10. So I plumped for the middle one because I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go down on the train potentially on the morning and want to get there, do a bit of filming. So I want to get there early. I want to try and get there as early as possible. The runners leave at something like 6:30 or something like that, 6:45, something like that, just before the first wave of runners and joggers. And obviously there's all the other people going off on the halves and the full as well, around about the same sort of time. So a lot of people all going off. I'm hoping by then to have a better camera. I don't want to do it on I'm filming this on an iPhone SE. Hoping to have a GoPro of some description. Now I've been having a look at the 7 and the 8. People are saying don't buy the 8 actually because it hasn't got a replaceable lens cover or replaceable lens. So if you scratch the thing or damage the thing, which let's be frank, if you're using it as an action camera, there is the possibility you're going to drop it, you're going to bang it into something. You've ruined it. You've got a 400-pound paperweight, frankly. Whereas if you buy the 7, it's not quite as good as the 8, apparently. But if you damage the lens, you just pay £20 for a new lens cover. I think I'd rather do that, to be honest. I'm not that bothered about it hasn't got super hyper smooth 2 or whatever they call it. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It'd just be really nice to be able to have something that's got a bit of image stability or stabilization or whatever you want to call it, that's better than me trying to capture things on an iPhone SE. So we'll see. I'll have a look more into it, watch some more videos, try and find someone that I know that's got one and have a play about with it and just see what's going to happen. This video is running longer than I wanted it to. The other things I was going to say to you were, I was going to show you actually the kind of recovery things that I've got. Now I don't do massive runs. I've only been running since September, so I'm not doing things like 30, 40, 50 miles a week or more. I'm not running every day, but I still do get aches and pains not pains, but aches in my legs, like the tops of my legs, and my glutes are a bit sore today from my run from yesterday because it's all relative. I'm not yet used to running longer distances, but the distances that I'm running are still taking a bit of a toll on my body, partly because of my age, partly because I'm new to running and so on. So I've got a couple of things that I use, and I was just going to show them to you. So I've said before, after my run, I come home and I have an Epsom salt bath. I really do believe that is helpful. I've done a bit of skiing in the past, and I used Epsom salts from when I was skiing, and that was great. Helped me really well with recovery. I've just got a couple of ones here that I've used, and you don't have to use these. You don't have to use them at all, to be honest. But Sea Magic do an Epsom salt spa thing, and they say on the packet, you know, revitalizes tired muscles, post-workout body recovery, so on and so on. And it's true, it does do that. And this one I love, Dr. Teal's, and it's also got lavender in it to help soothe and sleep. Not that you want to fall asleep in the bath. Oh, it smells amazing. This stuff, just 3 or 4 handfuls in a nice hot bath, jump in. It's great. It really will. I think you will notice the difference if you use this stuff. What else have I got? I bought from Hoka, £35, a pair of their recovery sliders, and these are so comfortable. I wear them all the time. I've even actually taken them to work, so I've got my own office at work. I've had them at work before and had them on at work at my desk, praying that the fire alarm's not going to go off. But yeah, these things are amazing. 35 quid, and they are just so comfortable. It's like they're just made out of rubber, really, but they're just so comfy. And if you've got tired feet and whatever, tired feet and your legs are a bit sore, walk around in these for a bit and you just feel amazing. When you take them off, oh my God, your feet feel incredible. I've also got this thing. I'll zoom in a bit closer. Just a hard plastic spiky ball. This was bought from a sports shop in Carlisle called Chivers. And they do like discounts for people that go there and shop, and if you tell them that you're from a local running club, so if anyone's watching this and you're from a local running club like Border Reavers or Denton Home Runners or Border Harriers, etc., they will give you extra discounts. They just mention your running club and they'll potentially give you a bit of extra money off of various things like running shoes and equipment and so on. But this thing was like £1. And the idea, do you know what? I'm going to just tilt this a bit so you can see. You probably guess what I'm going to do with this. You can do various things with this, but it's amazing at just rubbing your foot on and really working in to different. You can probably hear me. It feels amazing. Really working into different bits of your foot and into your toes and so on. I take this to work every day, and when I'm not sneakily wearing these, I'm rubbing my feet on this ball all day long, and my feet feel fantastic. I also will quite often of an evening, particularly if I'm doing something at home where I can just sit, I'll rub it on my things like my legs, and I can feel even now, I've got a little sore spot just here on my knee, and I'll just work away at that with this little ball, and it's amazing. One of the best pounds ever spent. Get yourself something like this. Local sports shop, Amazon, you might find them all over the place, but just get yourself one of these. They're fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. Also got one of these great big rubber bands. Now it was Seth Demore. I got a link to his channel in the description. He got me onto this, but I've used stuff like this before in yoga classes. You don't have to go out and buy a rubber band. You can just use like a towel if you want to. Now in yoga, one of the things that they'll get you to do, and I'll try and tilt this so you can see. If you're stretching, if you're stretching, particularly when you're new, you might find that you can only get your leg up so high in the air before you have to start bending at the knee to raise your leg in the air to help stretch things like stretching your hamstrings, stretching your inner thigh and so on, and like opening your hips and everything. So a lot of the time in yoga, teachers will get you to wrap something around your foot, and if you want to hold on tight, particularly if it's a rubber band, you don't want to let that go because it will ping. But you'll find by pulling in, you can actually get your leg, you can actually stretch your leg way further and hold it, get a really good stretch in your hamstrings. You can pull it in other directions and help with hip opening and so on. And eventually, the more you do that, obviously, the greater your range will be when you're not using that aid. So these are fantastic, and you can do all sorts of things like, you know, doubling it up, wrapping it around your legs to do various exercises, stretching your legs apart. You can you can stand on it and pull your arms up. You can wrap one of these things around a bar and then use it as an aid to, oh, my foot's slipping, to step in to help you do pull-ups and so on. Very, very good. This wasn't very expensive. It was something like £19 or something. I'll put a link if I can find the link for one, a decent one, or this one. I'll put a link in the description below just in case anyone's interested. I don't earn any money from that, so it's not like you're linking to something that I'm going to earn money off. If you get one, great. If you don't, I honestly don't care, but they are worth having. But you can just use a towel or something as well if you want to, and you get the same benefit from the stretching. And obviously as well, if you're pulling into your foot, I guess you're potentially increasing your range of motion in your foot, although it can obviously only go so far because of bones, and you're tensing your calf muscles as well when you're doing that. So you're getting kind of a mini workout from a big rubber band. And if nothing else, I guess, and if you've got the stretch, you can always ping someone with it. if you get bored, just ping someone in the arse with it or something, I don't know. That's probably worth £19 right there, that alone. Okay, listen, look, I'm going to cut it off now. I've been talking for longer than I intended to. So, updating on races, bit of recovery stuff, and I'm going to go and have something to eat. Having a nice homemade soup tonight with lots of nice things in that. And I will catch you tomorrow. Have a good evening wherever you are, and take care. Bye.
Oh yes. Homemade date slices with Alpro non-dairy custard. It's going to be good. Oh yeah. Wonder if Herbert and Flo might like a little taste of some custard. Yes. Get your hands on some of this. Mm-mm.